think I'm just a piece of meat? I'm just a big fat cow? Is that what you see?
That's funny, man. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. I was
Cock as well.
Thank you. One of my viewers sent me this beanie. I was like, thank you. I guess
yeah, what you trying to tell me now? You know.
Maybe it's like a year of the rooster Chinese New Year thing. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Because like one of my viewers is this woman named Sai, and then she has a younger daughter named Emmy, and she started watching. She's like 20 years old, and she started watching my videos, you know, just because I guess they were watching them together, and she liked that I was wearing like beanies on camera, so she thinks that I should have a big rotation of beanies. So she's been sending me several of them because I would like to wear like different, like I see some YouTubers and they always have cool t-shirts and stuff on their videos, which I would like to do, but I'm like just like up here on camera, so I can't really like show off different shirts, but I can have different like beanies on. So I was like, that's a good idea. So I saw on Kent Hovind's channel, they uploaded so was this Matt Powell debate? Is this a different thing than is this the same video as the last time you talked to Matt Powell, or is this a new thing?
No, I've only talked to him once.
It was on Brett Keane's
channel. Yeah, on Brett Keane's channel, yeah. That's
unfortunate that you had to interact with Brett Keane.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I love that thumbnail where you got him as a manatee. That's hilarious.
Oh, he was very upset about that.
He shouldn't do it, should he? He shouldn't put himself out there because he does his videos lying down. And, you know, the manatee is a perfect illustration of him. So, and he calls other people fat. He called Aaron Maher for having no neck, and he calls other people because of the weight.
I was just gonna say, because me and him were emailing back and forth, like just fully shit talking, and he was like, he said that I'm a fat fuck, and I'm like, okay,
a Christian of him.
That means nothing coming from you, Brett. Like,
yeah. You know? He is one loser. He's gone from one of the most popular atheists on YouTube to being an absolute nobody and begging for subscribers and all sorts of things and kissing Kent Hovind's ass and kissing Matt Powell's ass. Seriously, he's gone from that to an absolute nobody. And
yeah,
I mean, I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to give him some credit because he was one of the original, like, biggest atheist content creators on the site. You know, back in like 2006. But if you look at the trajectory of his career versus the Amazing Atheist, who's still really popular, you know what I mean? Yeah. And both of them have had a lot of public scandals. They've had a lot of embarrassing stuff happen, but people stuck by TJ, you know what I mean? And he kind of just made it part of his brand. Whereas like with the banana thing, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but like but Brett, he did the opposite thing where he would just get really mad about stuff and he would try to, you know, he didn't embrace the meme at all. And so you can sort of see the different ways that, you know, that works. Like TJ has sort of embraced, he's very like self-deprecating, you know what I mean? So it's really hard to make fun of somebody like that, you know, because it's like, you're not going to say anything to me that I haven't said something way worse about myself already, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, if you take yourself really seriously, those are the people that, you know, are really fragile. That's how I feel like Kent Hovind is, because it annoys me, because I feel like I always say, like, don't dish it out if you can't take it. Because I don't, you know, I don't think it's right to insult people for things that they can't control or bully people. But of course, you know, we're on the internet, and I've made plenty of videos making fun of Kent or insulting him, and you know, I'm getting a lot of that back now, you know, and it's like, okay, well, that's fair enough, you know what I mean? But Kent is so sensitive. You know what I mean? Like he gets so upset
Yeah.
when somebody calls him stupid. It's like, well, Kent, you call atheists stupid in almost every single video. You know?
Well, yeah, he's got a weekly show called Whacking Atheist, and you know, and when people bite back, he's not enjoying it at all.
Especially with Aaron Ross.
Yeah, and it's going the same way with Matt Powell. When you bite back at Matt Powell, he gets really butthurt. I mean, his cheeks went in our debate. His cheeks just went redder and redder and redder as the debate went on. And I thought he's getting angry. I'm triggering this lad here. He's not showing it, but he's definitely getting triggered.
I know. It's like I wear makeup on camera and he's got more blush than I do.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, he goes extremely red. Especially the kangaroos. I can see his face going like he's about to explode. And I'm amazed he didn't. That's why I really want to be opening statement video to work, because I pre-recorded it. I did all the research for it. I got it down to a T, and I've got Aaron Rao in the background on my screen on my television here. I've got Aaron Rao in the background just as a still shot, because I knew it would trigger him, and it did, because they managed to see it. Both him and Brett, and they managed to see it, and of course he calls him, Larry Nelson towards the end of the video, and I'm thinking,
yeah, I saw that.
Well, he's not called Larry. You just got that off Kent Hovind. Get some original material, basically. And he hasn't got any.
Did you see his debate against James recently? James W.
I saw bits of it. Yeah, I didn't really agree with. I can understand why he did it. He's got his pictures of Aaron Rao,
right? Because he did the same thing.
Yeah, he did the same thing, and that triggered Kent.
Yeah.
And I didn't really agree with the way the debate was going, because he was bashing creation, and I couldn't understand why he was doing it, because all Kent does is bash evolution and the Big Bang, etc., etc. So I can understand why he did it. I was still waiting for like evidence for evolution, and he didn't, especially in his opening statement, didn't really provide any. He was just bashing creation. So, but I can see both sides of it. I can see, like I said, Kent always bashes evolution. He never shows any evidence for creation whatsoever. He always likes to skip over that. And then I can see the other side. Well, don't fall into his trap, because Kent likes to lay traps, and he will lead you down. He'd lead you down the wrong path, and you get distracted. And it happened with me and Matt Powell a couple of times. You get distracted, and then you forget your original point. Then, and but it was interesting though. It was nice to see Kent triggered.
Yeah,
as he always does when you mention Aaron Rao's name.
Well, I mean, I helped coach James before the debate happened. So I would say that because he did present some of the ancestors to humans like Lucy and Homo habilis, and he talked about the embryology, like the gill slits, which is another thing seemed to done intentionally to upset Kent, which is very easy to do with that.
It is, yeah.
So those are some pieces of evidence right there, I would say. But I do think that that was interesting, because that really seemed to knock Kent off of his his stride, which I was surprised at, because I didn't tell James to do that. But really, I think it's about time for Kent to defend some of his own views during a debate for once, because he avoids that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he really does.
He did it in his debate with Professor Dave. Professor Dave tried getting quoting Bible verses and stuff, and Kent said, well, the purpose of the debate is creation versus evolution, and I don't want to talk about that, but we'll talk about evolution instead. We'll carry on bashing evolution. And he got Professor Dave, and I can see where Dave was coming from when he said he didn't perform as well. When you go to his channel, he does the intro to the debate, and Dave said, well, I did perform as well as I could have done. I could have said this and this and this, and Kent successfully got Dave away from the Bible. And then I think Dave got a bit more irate at Kent from that point onwards, and I don't blame him.
Well, it was kind of interesting, because it was right when that open discussion started. It's funny because Kent says that Dave mentions the Bible, And Kent says, "Oh, well, I've been reading this book for 40 years. I've never seen a mistake in it. Can you point one out?" He actually asked him like something like that to point out a mistake, and then Dave says, "Okay, well, I had some verses that I wanted to go over," and then all of a sudden Kent is like, well, the purpose of the debate is, it's about evolution."
Yeah, let's get away from that topic. I mean, I don't want to talk about that anymore. So let's just get off, because I know I'm going to lose that crap. This guy's done his research here about the Bible. He's going to quote the Bible to me. He's done his research here. Let's get away from that quick, because he knows. Kent knows he as much of a narcissist that he is, he definitely knows that the Bible contains contradictions and errors. He must know this. I mean, anybody should know this. Snakes can't talk. Whales are not fish. He said once that whales are fish, and I'm thinking, Kent, no. Oh, it's just a classification, Well, it's not a classification. Well, it is a classification. Whales are mammals, yes, but we can prove that they're mammals. They give birth to live young. They feed the young with milk. And Kent, just shut up. You're wrong. Move on. You're embarrassing yourself, you old turd.
Well, the most important detail is that they have lungs,
Yeah.
And so they actually, which is crazy to think about, because if you or me go swimming, we're mammals. We have to hold our breath under the water, and we can't for very long. We have to come up for air. Whales do the exact same thing. They just have massive lungs, and that it just seems kind of ridiculous, and I think he said something like the biblical classification was around before the Linnaean classification, and it's like, yeah, it was around before we had better scientific ways of classifying these animals. Yeah. So we know that a whale is, well, he has sort of different arguments, one being like, oh, well, is a whale, a fish in the biblical category, or is it actually like referring, is it a great fish, or is it actually, talking about not a whale, but it's just using that language. And I would say, like, Kent, he can say that there are no contradictions in the Bible, but the fact that he has done so many episodes where he has to respond to all of these things that are suggested by atheists are contradictions, just the fact alone that even if he doesn't think there are any, why are there so many, things that seem like contradictions that have to be explained, because there's a verse in the Bible that says something like that Christians shouldn't even give the appearance of evil. Like, even if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't even want to give the appearance that you're doing something wrong. So if the Bible is totally perfect and infallible, then there shouldn't even be the appearance that it could have contradictions in it. And the thing that Kent actually says is that, oh, well, if I was God and I wrote the Bible, that I would put things that seem like contradictions in it just to trip up like atheists who don't want to believe it anyway. And I'm like, what? That is,
an atheist version of the Bible, if we were to write one, would be totally different from Kent Hovind's. We would put like facts in there, and we would show how evolution works. I mean, God's already done this. He's given us all these clues. If God exists, he's given all these clues that point towards evolution and the Big Bang Theory. And Kent is just going, well, but just dismiss all that. And just, Kent, shut up. You're wrong. Get over it. And stop teaching Matt Powell how to debate, because he's crap as well. And
oh, God.
Just stop learning and just stop teaching, Kent.
Yeah, that debate, I would actually say that, yeah, Matt Powell is a much worse debater than Kent, because I was trying to watch that debate, and it was very difficult to watch because there was no moderation at all.
No.
Brett Keane,
yeah.
I mean, he is not neutral, and half the time he's not even like there. He's just like wandered off, because you and Matt Powell
got a lot of problems.
Brett, are you there? Are you there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, he's got bladder problems. I had about a 3-hour chat with Brett Keane on New Year's Day, very early hours of New Year's Day. And about 5 or 6 times he just waddle off to his, his toilet or whatever he pisses into. And yeah, about 5 or 6 times, just leave me on my own. I'm just there going, well, because there's only me and him in the meeting. I'm there going, well, yeah, well, what do I talk about?
That's unfortunate, but if I were him, I would. I don't know if you guys were doing it on StreamYard or whatever platform you guys are on, but I would be doing the moderation from my phone and not the computer. That way, if you have to, you could just take the phone with you. But that is unfortunate if that.
Well, I had to point out. I did point out. So I don't know how far you got into the debate, but I had to point out to Brett Keane that why are you not remaining neutral like you said you were?
Yeah, I saw that.
He put something in the comments, and I couldn't see this. I couldn't see the live chat, but I could see the comments that Brett Keane were posting up, and I saw this is how stupid this is how dumb he is. He puts a thing up that I can see that proves that he's not neutral at all. And I have to call him out on it, and I did call him out on it. And he said, "Well, I'm sorry if I offended you." Well, you didn't offend me. You're just dishonest.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, I'm sorry if if that made you upset. I won't get or in the chat. It's like, well, you don't have to stay. You can go in the live chat. It's just like,
exactly what I told him.
Yeah.
Exactly what I told him. I said, I'm not saying, stay out of chat. I'm not saying don't moderate. I'm just saying just remain neutral, like you said you was going to do. And then he puts out another video saying, well, if anybody else wants to debate, then come on here. I'll be a fair and just moderator and all the rest of it. No, you won't. I can't comment on these things because I'm blocked from his channel. Bless him.
Well, did you see the sort of drama that went down with me and him setting up a debate with Kent Hovind that was supposed to happen that didn't happen?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and he put out a video coming out with all sorts of claims, didn't he?
Yes.
And I thought, Brett, I just know you're lying because I can see your lips move. You are just unbelievably dishonest. And well, hashtag got a life for Jesus.
Well,
that's all I kept responding back to his comments with.
It's just funny. Like, so I'll try to tell the story in a succinct way, but basically, I had the after show for the debate between James and Kent on my channel, and we're having a gay old time, and then Brett Keane comes in the YouTube chat and is talking shit because that's what he does, and he basically says to me, oh, do you want to set up? First, he had said that he had challenged me to a debate. He said, I challenged you to a debate and you didn't, you ran away, you didn't accept. And I said, Brett, you challenged me to a debate and I commented, yes, I accept, but nobody could comment on your channel. You have all your comments set to approval. So none of my comments show up. So how can I accept, I said I accept, so that didn't happen. And then he comes in and says, oh, basically just talking about setting up a debate with me and Kent. And I told him, because he had a video where he showed the screenshot and it says, okay, set it up for Friday at 7 p.m. I know that you're full of shit, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I saw that one, yeah.
And then apparently I blocked him at some point during that video. I kind of, I don't really remember that. But I'm sure I had a good reason for it. But
there's only ever a good reason for blocking that man, isn't there, really?
But even though that happened, so he made a premiere for that debate and he made a video talking about it. And I commented on that video, the comment section, and on the premiere video talking about the debate topic, because Brett just decided the topic was going to be, can atheists prove evolution and objective morality? And so, we were talking about that, and I said, no, this is a bad topic, like I don't even think objective morality is a thing. Like you can't prove that anyway. And he told me that, okay, well, we'll just decide, you and Kent can decide what you want the topic to be when you get on the live chat together. And everything was set up. It was all set up and ready to go. This was on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I look and he's taken the premiere down. He's taken the other video down. And now I see that a new premiere is up with Adam Lohr versus Kent Hovind for Friday at 7. And I've been replaced. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So I was very confused. So even though like everything was all set up, apparently Brett found out that I had blocked him and retroactively got mad and decided that because I had blocked him, then that meant that me and him, he couldn't leave comments to communicate, to talk about the debate and decide what the topic would be. And also he said he couldn't email me, even though I blocked him on YouTube and nothing was stopping him from emailing me.
Yeah.
So
strange, man.
Yeah. So he was saying how, he was very upset that I had blocked him because that meant, now that means I couldn't, talk to him about the debate topic. And I was like, okay, well, we talked about it on your channel anyway. But he was so mad that I had blocked him that he canceled it and replaced me. And then he had Adam Lohr come on, and me and Brett were emailing, and he was saying how he had replaced me with somebody who is an atheist who is smarter and is more popular than me. And I checked his channel, and no offense to Adam Lohr, because me and him actually talked, we had a nice conversation, but even he was saying this, he was like, his videos get like 30 views.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, like he said that to me, and I was like, yeah, I know. I don't know why he said, oh, he's a more popular atheist channel than you.
I don't get what he's trying to. I don't get what he's trying to. Well, I do get what he's trying to do. He's just using Kent Owens and Matt Powell's name now to get more subscribers for his channel. But obviously we can't see how many subscribers he's got because he's got it turned off. He's got it set to private. I tried checking on Social Blade, but Social Blade's got it set to private as well.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So I did try checking him out. But he's a strange.
I'm the one that's accused of riding Kent Hovind's coattails, though. That's me.
You're the one. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you got Brett Keane there. I mean, I'm going to do. Have you seen the Matt Powell video where he tries his hand at comedy?
No, I am too scared to watch it because I feel like I will die of secondhand embarrassment. I just can't do it. I left a comment. I was like, I can't watch this. Can somebody describe to me what happens?
Yeah, I think he just drives up to companies and sees somebody outside and said, well, I'm setting up in exactly the same company as you, just 200 yards up the road. And are you scared? And I'm thinking, the cringe inside me, it made me look like Stan Laurel when he was at his thinnest. And I wish I could stay like that, but obviously I can't. But yeah, this is and I'm thinking, Matt, what on earth are you doing? I've got to do a video about it. I'm thinking, Matt, what on earth are you doing? And then you got Brett Keane. I read the comments, absolutely kissing his backside. Matt Powell is such a great comedian, and his comedy timing is perfect, and he could have been a great comedian. But I'm thinking, well, he already is. He lies for Jesus on a daily basis. He's already a brilliant comedian. He says that evolution teaches that we came from rocks, and and evolution teaches is a bad religion. It's an evil religion of death. And well, he's already a comedian. He's a dick. He's just up the wall.
Yeah, like so he absolutely is a brown noser. But okay, so yeah, I'm just to finish the whole anime arc of this debate thing real quick. So that I don't know if you've seen the Adam Lohr debate. It really was not even a debate because
no, it wasn't. No, I watched I think the first half hour of it, and it was basically Kent and Adam Lohr just basically agreeing with each other.
Yeah, I mean, Adam says that he thinks the earth was covered with water at one point, which is just not true because there was always Pangea or Rodinia, you know. And he said that he thinks the Big Bang is not true, and you know that the predictions for the temperature of the black body radiation or the CMB were not accurate. And I was talking to him about that. I was like, I'm going to have to explain the evidence to you sometime because, you know, I was triggered by that. But the interesting thing is, so everything was very cordial. So Brett Keane is sitting there and he is very pleased with himself because he's like, oh, yeah. I've replaced AJ with this much better atheist, and he's being so cordial with Kent and everything is going so great. I've won. But then the offline chat happens, and apparently Adam told Brett Keane, he told him that he thought Matt Powell was a sexy piece of ass, and Brett Keane freaked out.
That is it. That is brilliant. Why is Brett? Are you jealous?
Yes, and he got really like uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. And Adam was saying that he was like, do you think Kent brought down Matt Powell just because he wanted to have his boyfriend like move in with him? And he was like, basically Brett was like, hey, if I have you talk with Matt Powell, you can't embarrass me like this. Like, you know, you're not going to say these type of things, are you? Like he was basically like, you can't embarrass me in front of my new friends. And because Brett is extremely homophobic, so you know, and Brett was so upset by this exchange that the next day he makes a video where he's talking about how he feels betrayed, how he feels like crying, like he feels like bawling. This is what he said. And, you know, because he's so embarrassed, you know, that he trusted this guy and that, you know, I got fooled by another, you know, I got, you know, put on by another atheist, you know, and it's a situation with another atheist. I got put on, you know, Dawn's going to bake me some cookies. And
he said he was going to quit, didn't he? He said he was going to give YouTube a break for a while. Towards the end of the video, I could hear him sniffling.
Yeah, he needed, you know, to take like a day or two off or something and take a nap. They'd have Dawn
break from YouTube didn't last long.
Yeah, well, I mean, I take breaks from YouTube sometimes. I do think that that's important, but you know, he was like legitimately upset, and I just had to laugh. You know, so I was like, I have to talk to this guy because I was like, I am so proud of this person. And so me and Adam, you know, we talked, and you know, we definitely disagree about a couple things with the science, but you know, he told me about what happened, and you know, him and Brett like are not friends. You know, I think Brett was under this assumption, but it seems to me that, you know, because like I, you know, have guy friends, you know, like growing up in middle school, like we would say things to each other joking about like, oh, you know, like you're gay or this person's gay. You're like, you know, so when he told me like, oh, I told him Matt Powell was a hot piece of ass or whatever, I can picture like that situation where I would understand that that's a joke, you know? But Brett Keane was just, he didn't get it, you know, like, so he was just like really shocked and scared, I think.
Probably scared, with his homophobia. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's not got the best sense of humor in the world, has he, Brett?
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying is, you know, Matt Powell is not a good comedian. Christian conservatives are not funny, because you cannot be funny if you take yourself too seriously. And I also think that there's a direct link between intelligence and being a funny person, having a good sense of humor. And, you know, I think I have a lot of comments from people saying that they think the stuff I do on my channel is funny because I'm sort of willing to not take things so seriously. And on my channel, I don't take myself that seriously. I don't mind. It's like I've gotten all these comments from people that are like complaining about the number of videos I've made about Kent Hovind. I was like, yeah, I've made a shitload of videos about Kent. Like, I know that, but like it's my channel. Like,
yeah, I'll take criticism I'll take criticism quite happily any day of the week. I mean, if anybody, this is what I begged in when I mirrored the Matt Powell debate. I said, look, if I get anything wrong, please tell me in the comments below. But everybody's perfectly polite. I've got a couple of trolls, and but that's to be expected. And I want people to tell me that I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I want people to critique me work and all the rest of it. And if they can do it with a bit of humor in there, I'm equally as delighted as when they're being serious. It's great. It's great to have that interaction, but because I don't want my channel to be, and I'm sure you're the same, where everybody kisses your backside, everybody's brown nosing you. I want people to point out my mistakes, unlike Matt Powell's channel, where he blocks everybody that disagrees with him, and so does Kent as well. Most of the time. And
yes.
go, oh, Matt, you're so wonderful. You're so wise. And, you're giving these atheist evolutionists what for, and you're giving them a good bashing, and you're so right about everything in the Bible. You're doing God's work. And I'm thinking, you dick. You absolute dick. He's not doing anything of the kind. He mocks people who trust and believe evolution to be fact and know that evolution is a fact. He mocks those people mercilessly. He's homophobic. He's transphobic. And even showing these videos where he goes off on homophobia and goes off on trans people, even showing those videos won't convince his supporters that he is the prat that he really does make himself out to be. And it just drives him mad. If I see you, for instance, or Aaron Rai being homophobic, I'll point it out. This is what we do. This is what atheists do, because we're critical thinkers. We can look at other channels and go, well, I can agree with something, things what they say. I can disagree with what they say. But with young earth creationism, and with each new video that I see, especially with Kent Hovind and Matt Powell and the others, and Ken Hams, and who's the other one? Pillock. What's he called? Ray Comfort, the banana guy.
Banana Man.
And the more I see, the more I see of those people, I think you can't even get your own house in order. Kent Hovind will disagree with Ken Ham on some things. Ray Comfort will disagree with just about everybody on everything. And at least atheists or even Christian evolutionists, some evolutionists are Christians, and they agree that evolution is fact. And these young earth creationists can't even get their own house in order and agree on the same thing, agree on the age of the earth, agree on Noah's Ark, agree on how kangaroos got to Australia, how monkeys got from Africa to South America. They can't even agree on that. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, well, how dishonest are you guys? You've got to get your house in order, get together, have a big meeting, and then just sort everything out. But they won't, because some people just say, like, well, the Bible says I must kill my firstborn son because he's being disruptive. The other 10 commandments say that I must give my first harvest to God, but I don't know who to give it to because he's not there. And what do I do with it? And it's absolute madness. This is why I despise the Bible. I grew up as a kid reading it, and I was a critical thinker back then, and I said, like, well, this doesn't make sense here. I mean, it says here God made the plants and the trees on the Wednesday, on the third day, sorry. And then on the fourth day, he made the sun and the moon and the stars. So how did those plants and trees survive without sunlight? And it's total contradictions all the way through, describing animals what they do not by what they are, just by what they do. If they saw human beings in the sea, they'd describe human beings as fish. The people who wrote the Bible, they really would.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that Kent, every time that he does a whack an atheist about Aaron Ra, he has to go through, Aaron, he calls himself the sun god, which he doesn't.
It's not true.
Yeah. But I just think it's funny because he's like, oh, well, you have to be bright to be a sun, and you're not bright, Aaron. But I've heard Kent say that God created the plants on, I think, the third day, and then he created the sun on the fourth day. And then people ask, well, how did they have a day without the sun? How did the plants live without the sun? And Kent will say, oh, well, God is light. And it's like, so you're the one who worships the sun god then.
Yeah.
You're the one talking about a sun god.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, poor Kent. He's got to write these things down, and he has to learn them because he trips himself up so many times. It's untrue. The thing where, I mean, I did get a bit lost in the Matt Powell thing where, he said, life came from a rock. I should have picked up on that because it doesn't say that. It says you owe your life to rock, not to a rock.
Well, have you read that article?
I've read that article, but it doesn't say that we came from rocks. It just says that some of the minerals inside the rock, we owe our life to some of the minerals inside the rock. That's basically what it says. So I didn't have time to read it before our debate, but what I wanted to do with Matt was pick up on some of the things that he was saying, because some of the things that he said, because he wanted it as creation versus evolution. I just wanted to talk about how he was wrong about surfing monkeys and the fighting dinosaurs thing. So, and I got the feeling that if I didn't agree to this creation versus evolution thing, then he wouldn't debate me at all. I listed number of channels, Modern Day Debate. He said he was banned from there. Mm-hmm. A guy called Mr. Sensible, who I trust, would have modded the debates a lot further than Brett Keane would have done. Turned him down straight away, and he just suggested Brett Keane's channel. So I said, right, if it's got to happen, it's got to happen, and it's going to happen on this channel. So absolutely fine. And I pressed him on, you said in a video that a rock, you claim that evolutionists say that a rock conceived, and he quotes the paper, and I said, nowhere in that paper does it say a rock conceived. How on earth does a rock conceive? How does it make babies? Mm-hmm. And even his wife popped in the side chat as well and tried sticking up for him, which I thought was a bit, I thought, Christ, he's losing here. If his wife has got to come into the side chat now, you've got him on the back foot. And I got him on the back foot a few times. And then, as predicted, he couldn't wait. After the debate, I bet he downloaded it straight away and started editing it, because he did some edits. He edited out the first bit when I had technical difficulties. He edited out the thing when I questioned him about how kangaroos, that was your idea, actually. I got that idea from you. So thank you for that. About how kangaroos got from, I heard you mention in either a debate or a video how kangaroos got from Turkey to Australia. And I heard you mention it, and that's why I wanted to quiz him on it. And, he thinks it's really difficult for a monkey to, float across an enormous landmass, eat fruit for a few weeks, which will keep them going anywhere, and then land in South America.
Keep them hydrated too.
And keep them hydrated too, yeah. And which is a journey back then would have been about 800, 900 miles. But he wants me to believe that kangaroos hopped on these invisible land masses, for 6,000 miles. And this is just after the water's rescinded, just after the flood. So all the plants and trees are washed away. There's nothing there. There's no fresh water to drink at all. So he wants me to believe that. And koalas, who can't hop anywhere, one of the slowest creatures in the bloody world, made that 6,000 mile trip as well. He wants me to believe that. And I'm thinking, and I quizzed him about it, and he edited that out of his version. And I thought, I knew you would. I knew. And I should have mentioned it in my closing statement. There was a number of things that I wanted to say, but I thought, right, I'll just be polite. I'll just be professional, because it's been quite cordial. It got a bit heated at times.
Yeah.
So I wished him all the best at the end. I wished his family all the best. Everybody at Dinosaur Adventureland all the best. And I was sincere in that, and I wouldn't wish any harm to come to them. I also wished Brett Keane all the best as well. But what I should have said right at the end is I wanted to have a sly dig at him. I should have said that I can't wait to appear on a future episode of Whacking Atheist, Wednesday, and I can't wait to see the edited version of this debate on Matt Powell's channel. But I'd had a bit too much to drink, and I thought, right, I'll just end it there quick before I say something that, you know, that completely destroys me.
Yeah, I did one time. I was watching Kent, and sometimes they do questions like from the StreamYard chat at the end of a video, just when he's doing videos, and I popped in like with a sock account or whatever, because I have so many accounts that are just banned on Kent's channel. So I had to make 1 million sock accounts, and they all get banned like instantly. So, and what I asked was basically like, couldn't the oceans have been drained, like you said happened after the flood? Couldn't that have happened with the monkeys? And at some point, couldn't there have been land bridges that they walked across also? Like, who says like that it had to be just water? You know what I mean? And because I think it's funny, because they showed, there was one time where I made a video where I was addressing the surfing monkeys thing. And what I said was, at no point in the video did I say that I believe that this is true. I said that, this is a hypothesis from a National Geographic article that is poorly citing a paper. And this is not taught as fact in science textbooks or science classes. This is not scientific consensus. This is, this is in a idea or a theory, to use the colloquial version of the word, about how to explain these teeth from monkeys who match the genuses of monkeys that are in Africa. They don't really match the ones that are in South America. So we don't really know how to explain it. And I said, I don't know how they got there. But of course, they didn't show that part when, they showed it on, they did a Whack an Atheist where it was right after the me and Paulogia's collab video came out.
Oh, yeah.
And they showed Kent and Matt reacted to that, and Matt edited that to crap. Like, he literally was stitching together different parts to make me say things that I didn't say, like stitching together different sentences. It was ridiculous. But they also showed at the beginning, they showed a clip from that. And what I said is that, well, I don't know how they got there. And I said, well, Matt Powell and Kent Hovind, how do you think that they got there? Because any reason that you could give for how that, these monkeys, made it across the ocean, any reason you could give is going to be far more plausible than any explanation you could give for Noah's Ark, because the monkeys, rafting on what could be not just like vegetation, but possibly fruit trees ripped up by the roots that have fruit on them, and are just, there. So they have, basically they have something solid to be on, and they have food, and the food has a lot of water in it. And basically what I said was that, you're saying that this is not plausible, but really it's far more plausible than Noah's Ark is. And, it's funny because that article that Matt Powell was talking about, I just want to read like 2 sentences. So one, it says single-celled organisms incorporated trace metals into metal binding proteins that ultimately enabled the diversification of multicellular life. And then the last quote in the article, the last sentence, it says, the problem is we don't know what these metal concentrations in the oceans were, what the metal concentrations in the oceans were during this period, and we still have to identify the sources of these metals. So I
remember that bit.
Yeah. So like, the article is just saying that the way that the rocks that contained these metals or metalloids, the way that they basically melted and became igneous rock versus, I think, eroding, made them go into the ocean, something like that. And it made it to where these metalloids were now in the ocean water. That's all. It wasn't saying that human beings were conceived from rocks. The word
it's not even saying we came from rocks.
No, it's not. I mean, and the word conceived has a definition. It means to create a baby, or it means to come up with an idea,
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating because, you would ask Matt Powell something, and then he would give his canned response, and then you would ask him again, and he would say, well, I've said it 3 times already, I'm not going to say it again, Mr. Jones, and then
I'm not trying to be condescending or anything.
It's like, I'm not trying to be condescending, but you're completely uneducated and stupid and ugly. I'm not trying to be rude. But
yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, but you are thinking you need to do your research better, And yeah, I'll admit I did need to research it better, but I just wanted this thing to happen so bad. I wanted to question him, I wanted to pin him down, and I think I did. And it was quite, in the main, it was quite a friendly chat. And then obviously Matt Powell turns around and then edits the video, and then he goes on, he gets Standing for Truth, Donny from Standing for Truth on his channel, and they both mock me for about 30 seconds, or inside the first 30 seconds of their chat. They both mock me, and then halfway through they mock me again. And then I'm thinking, how childish, how immature. You can have a serious conversation with somebody, and then you can turn around and just mock them, and and then obviously bash evolution and just say, well, brother, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, because Noah's Ark, yeah, we got proof for that, we got proof for God, we got proof for this, we got proof for that. I'm just thinking, no, you haven't. Sorry, but you haven't. Just go find something better to do.
Standing for Truth, he used to be a used car salesman, and
it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and then Raw Matt is his close dear friend, and he was a breatharian and all that.
Well, that obviously didn't last long, did it? Because he's still alive, bless him. So that didn't last too long, his breatharianism. I did a video covering that, because we had a flat earther and conspiracy whack job over here called, what's it called, Allegedly Dave, and I did a video about him. He was a breatharian, and drinks his own urine and all the rest of it. And he thinks that drinking his own urine cured his asthma. For I don't know how, but, if it cured asthma, then I'd be catching my own urine in a cup and drinking that. But there's no scientific basis for it. Bless him.
Have you ever seen the movie 127 Hours with James Franco?
120. Oh, is that where he falls down, gets his arm caught in a rock and breaks his arm? Yeah, I've not seen it, but I've seen the clip with that horrible noise in it when he just snaps his. This is the most disgusting noise I've ever heard.
Well, he cuts it, because he has a Swiss Army knife, and he basically does surgery on himself, and really, like, it's he was already so tired and fatigued at that point, and was already going through pain, that it wasn't really that bad for him. But once he got to that point, that's basically you can't really have something that's more painful than that. No. Great movie though, but he does drink his own urine in that movie. He's sort of forced to, because he's so dehydrated.
Yeah, when you're forced to, you'll drink anything, won't you? I mean, I'll even, if I'm thirsty enough, I'll drink Guinness. I don't like that. I'm thirsty enough.
Yeah, well, you don't really drink Guinness. You kind of chew on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You're gonna take all the twigs and leaves out, and it's disgusting. It's Christ. It's I'd rather eat KFC and drink Guinness.
Oh wow. Well, I think that I'm gonna end the recording. We could, you know, keep talking in the offline, but I think I'm gonna call it for this video. But so can you tell me, like, for my viewers, like, where can they find you, like, besides YouTube?
Come and find me on Twitter. All the links are in my about page on my channel, Mr. Jones 1972. Twitter's probably the best place you'll find me. Because I don't know how Discord works. Basically, I do have Discord, but I'm never on it, and I never use it. So Twitter's probably the best place to find me. Or find me in the comments section on one of my videos. I'll always reply back, and if I like you, then I like you. But yeah, I'll talk to pretty much anybody. Apart from the Brett Keanes and Matt Powells of this world, because they've burnt the bridges basically with me, and I've burnt my bridges with them. Because if you're going to respond in such an immature way and say that I was trounced or I was obliterated on that debate with Matt Powell, then you know you don't really deserve my time.
Yeah. So do you have a Patreon or any links for people to support you?
I've got links to Patreon on my about page and in any video description. I've got links to Patreon, or you can become a channel member if anybody so wishes. Because I'm just trying to get everything set up now with AdSense. It's making me jump through hoops to get any money from there.
Oh yeah. Well, I can help you with that.
Well, I've got a video up now with talking me through it now. Some guys talking me through that now. But thank you. If I get stuck, I'll come and ask you. So yeah, Patreon channel members. It's a flat rate. I don't know how much £3 is or across the pond, but it's just £3 membership or £3 Patreon. You don't pay any more. You don't pay any less, and you just and that's it really. That's what I wanted. As the channel grows, probably I'll introduce tiers and perks and all the rest of it, and we'll see how the channel grows. I'm sure it'll grow. The more I mention Matt Powell, the more views I certainly get. The more I mention Kent Hovind, the more views I get, and
it worked for me.
I'm enjoying YouTube. Yeah, I'm enjoying. Because you're riding on his coattails, aren't you? Ride on Kent Hovind's coattails. Even though Brett Keane is as well, and it's perfectly all right for Brett Keane, but not all right for you. So yeah, come and find me and let's have a chat, and let's have a good time on YouTube, and let's give it, because the internet has such a bad rep sometimes. Let's all work together and make its reputation a little bit better. I think that's what we can all do that's what we can all work to achieve anyway.
Well, I will definitely have all of those links in the description of this video. Smashing. And I will have to say that, you know, I've built up a community of people. I don't really like the word fans. I prefer viewers, but I found that, you know, there are a lot of great people in this the atheist community, people watching YouTube, and they're really hungry for good content and stuff that's not just sort of drama. And people like videos that are the stuff I try to make. I'm basically trying to make something that's entertaining and funny, but where you could come away and be like, well, I actually learned something I didn't know. Like that's my goal. Is to just try to be a good science communicator and make it in a way that's palatable, and I like to make people laugh. So if I can accomplish those things, then, you know, I'm really happy. And I'm so proud of the community I've sort of fostered. So, I have, if anybody's watching this video and hasn't subscribed, go subscribe to Mr. Jones. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you could subscribe, leave a comment below telling me what you thought of, this conversation. And I also have a Patreon. Mine is just patreon.com/atheistjunior. And I'm also on Twitter as well. So you guys can see all those links in the description, and we'll just see you in the next video. So see you guys later.